We move up to the start for this race in the Britannia Challenge Cup. Angaria Hannover against the Lea Rowing Club. And we're straight into the action.
Is it wrong to say that was an angry-looking start there from the German crew, or is that...
what made it look angry to you, Adam?
I think just, you know, with a Cox 4, you've got that bit of extra weight in the boat. You really have to leather it down, don't you, to try and get the momentum up in that sort of boat.
Yeah, and sometimes the Cox 4 does look a little bit more like that. It's, of course, heavier. We've got the Coxes lying down inside the bows of the boat, so we can see the Coxes' heads there, turning to take a little look to their side, and we see the crews. They'll see them side by side, leathering it along, as you said.
Greg, obviously you're more than used to sort of racing in Cox boats, obviously Cox pair being your highlights. But yeah, any sort of things that you sort of would, you know, getting off the blocks in Cox boats, particularly smaller Cox boats?
Yeah, I mean, I actually liked having the extra weight. I even quite like rowing with a bungee on the boat, which might be the same kind of idea, because it just feels like the blade is in contact with the water for longer, so you can just feel like you're pushing the boat for longer. And as we move along the course, we pick the crews up here. Again, we're going to get a marker in a second that will come through the Forley mark. I was talking about what it's like to have a bungee around the boat. Something we would do as a training exercise would be to put the elastic bungee around the hull of the boat, which kind of creates a massive amount of drag. And I used to like that as an exercise, to just feel the slowness of it and just feel really good connection through the stroke. And in some ways, that's how a Cox 4 feels compared to a Cox 4.
Yeah, that power training, that sense of feedback, isn't it? Of having something connect, the oar with a bit more weight to it. It's like riding a bike in a higher gear or something like that, isn't it? That's sort of, yeah. I can see why you'd like that, Greg. Yeah,
yeah, because I feel like when the blade is in the water, it's actually moving the boat. So a lot of the time, you know, people look for a really quick leg drive and slam the legs down and rip the body back. But actually, I preferred it when the blade was in the water for longer and in contact with the water for longer, because then I felt like you were moving the boat past the blade for longer. Therefore, it goes further and you get to the finish line quicker.
It's nice to see this East London. The German crew, Angaria crew, is sort of drifting over a little bit there to the left. The crew on the right-hand side in the white suits, just sort of sliding around a little bit, which is strange when you've got a Cox on board who's there to keep tabs on that. Might have been a bit of wash or something, or avoiding something maybe in the water. Or
yeah, you wonder if they just got a little push from a wave, but they've certainly moved a reasonable way off the station. And yeah, in a Cox 4 you don't really expect to see that. So we see George Hammond there.
He's just lifting the megaphone,
waving the flag and signalling for them to move back onto the station. It's a bit harder in a Cox boat because someone's got to communicate that to the Cox.
Yeah,
you can see
you can see the Cox tucked in there down the front of the boat, and actually it's quite difficult to, with all the noise of the rowing and the oars, to actually always hear that. And I think, not quite picking up on that, and I think it's happening again, actually, isn't it? Just the bow line just tweaking over there.
Well, I think this crew from Hanover aren't really responding, as we see the umpire there again going for the flag, again trying to signal them back. Now, if we look at this angle, it looks like they have made the correction. They're going to get back onto their station. I don't think that's going to have had a material effect on the race yet, but the crew from the Lea won't be happy about it.
No, you don't want to risk it, do you? You want to keep it keep to your station, keep it clean. But yeah, a bit of a risk there. But actually, you look at sort of the trail of wake. There is a slight, so they just have to stay on top of that from here to the line.
Yeah, you wonder whether there's any sort of someone's blowing up. But when you look at the crew, it doesn't look like they are. They look like they're moving pretty well. It doesn't look like there's anyone particularly struggling. So the Cox would be having to work particularly hard. But again, it might look like they're just straying again away from their station towards the centre of the course.
There's always a multitude of variables that could be causing that, isn't there? And I'm sure they'll be having a bit of a debrief on that later.
Yeah, well, they will. I mean, the Lea will be looking to want to mount a charge now in the last, what have we got, 300 or 400 metres towards the line. The crew from Angaria Hannover will want to protect that, and again we see them wandering off the station right into the middle of the course. The Lea won't be happy about this because you can see the blades there on their stroke side are in those puddles.
Greg, you never know, they might have just been being nicer and letting the ducks have a bit of space on that one there. I think that's maybe, but yeah, you're right, that is drifting a little bit too far over, so yeah, one to watch again.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the umpire has to make of this when they cross the line. He hasn't steered them back again. They seem to have taken themselves more or less back onto their station. As we have a look here on the camera on the progress board, which is about 10 strokes to go before the line. So it looks like this crew from Hanover are in control. The lead giving it everything they can, coming down towards the line. Angaria, this is the first time that they have raced at Henley, so they're not necessarily familiar with the course. They'll know now they're coming down to the line because they'll hear the beep and know that it's time to stop. I think we should just take a moment as they celebrate, let the lead cross the line. The umpire's launch is still moving in, but the umpire is holding the white flag to say he's completely happy. So that's a win for the Angaria Hannover crew in the Brit Challenge Cup.